Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's poppin'?
How are you, LeRon?
I'm surviving.
That's good. That's good.
I'm surviving.
It's
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I'm not. Yeah, it is Wednesday. Well, you know, my favorite day of the week. But I'm not gonna bore a lot of details. But stuff is going on in my life right now, and it's like, man, it's like I'm the only person in the outfield right now, like at like the World Series. That's basically how it feels right now.
That's a good analogy, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a good situation, but a good analogy.
Not a good situation. I mean, I'm trying to stop all the home runs, the runs batted in, all that stuff. I'm trying to catch people before they hit third base. Oh man, and it's ridiculous right now.
That's
yeah.
I hear you. Also joining us, as always, is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Painting with your child, painting a room with your child, 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Painting in general with your child is also.
If it's on a canvas and they're wearing an apron, fine. Go paint. Make that the next Picasso painting. If you're actually painting the walls of a house with real paint, not good. Find something else to do. Do a word puzzle or something.
A word puzzle.
Hi.
We have a special guest tonight, guys.
Woo!
This is unlike any guest we've ever had before. I'm mixing my real life with my podcast life here. We have
It's Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald. Nope.
No.
Our guest is someone that I work with, sort of, off and on through what I do at my real job. He is a great guy. I love this guy, Girard Kavelines. Hi, Girard.
Hello.
How are you, everyone? It's a pleasure to be here. Been a fan of the show. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. When he asked me to be on, first thing I thought of was like, it's exciting because like the inner kid in me jumped because I just started playing games again. Not that I really stopped, but it's hard because I got 5 kids. So between an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old, sitting down with a controller is very rare. But even just get to talk about games, what's going on out there. I'm really excited. Especially for me, I love technology. But this it's where it started, right? Like I got into technology, but a big part of me was always a gamer. I played video games and. Big fan of Sega, Super Nintendo. I'm old school, all of them. PS4, PS2, the PlayStation, Dreamcast. Even though my Dreamcast got broken after 3 days, but we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm excited to be here. Wrestling fan, IT professional. I work as an infrastructure engineer for a phenomenal company based in Philly, and then I'm also the founder of my own brand. We create IT content to help others out there. People are trying to get into the industry that really don't know, how to forge a path into that. I wanted to be something that I didn't have when I got into IT. I didn't have it. I was just kind of like, was more than just who I was trying to build my skills. And a lot of people back then were just like, we're going to keep those skills to ourselves. It wasn't what it was, but now we've got a phenomenal community. There's a ton of them out there. And it gives me an opportunity to give back. And that's how I met Corey. He's a solid dude. He's always been a rock star. Great guy. Great people, so I'm excited to be here.
We tell Corey all the time he's a rock star, but he doesn't like whenever me and Stephanie tell it to him. So keep telling it to him.
I don't like it when people tell me things like that.
Now he's getting all flustered.
I am. I'm gonna go hide.
He's humble. He's modest, but the truth is 90. He keeps the wheels on the bus. He keeps everything going straight. His sharpness, attention to detail. It does. I mean, I've worked with him. Like I said, he always keeps everything lined up. He's a great guy. Great individual.
Stephanie, you know what I'm hearing right now? Corey doesn't respect us. That's what I'm hearing right now.
That's 100% false.
We're just nothing, I guess. Just nothing.
Our
opinions mean nothing.
That's false.
If he's the wheels on the bus, we're that random sock that gets caught behind the tailpipe that's just dragging along.
You guys are the doors I have to tie shut, okay? I'm just kidding. Girard,
hold up, wait a minute. Hold up. What? Girard, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Because you said you were excited to be on the show with us and everything. How much about us do you know? I need to be prepared.
I need to be prepared.
I'll be honest, a little bit, not a whole lot.
What has Corey been telling you about us?
I didn't say a word. I just said there's no limits on this show. That's all.
So you just set him up, basically, Corey. That's what you did.
I mean, I'm not gonna come up on here and say you have to like walk on eggshells and like talk about baby games on here. Okay.
Oh no,
baby games.
Sometimes we don't even talk about games. Sometimes we just make jokes and yeah. But
a fun time.
Yeah, Girard, I'm glad you could join us tonight. This is gonna be fun. Favorite game of all time? On the spot.
Without question, has to be Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Love Sonic the Hedgehog. I've always been a Sonic. Listen, when it comes to the end of the day, I actually wrote about it. When it comes to Sonic or Mario, I have respect, love for everybody. Love me Mario, love me Zelda. I just love Sonic. Sonic's my man. He can do it all. He moves quick, and that's how I gotta move, especially with all them kids. I gotta
go fast.
You said you wrote about something video game related?
Yeah, so when I started writing, right? So I started blogging. We're going on a little over almost 2.5 years, I think. And when I started, right, it's just cool. And I got
Stephanie's trying to recruit. Stephanie's got a recruiting hat on.
Hey, so when I started writing, I was writing on my own, just articles. I've done podcasts. I've been fortunate to do a lot of different stuff. And the one company I wrote for was Skyline, and they were kind of like it was like my first real opportunity outside of my own blog and brand. And one of the pieces we did, a great buddy of mine, his name's AJ, he's a phenomenal dude. He wrote a piece on how Mario would be a great IT professional, and it was really cool because the company, you can still write about IT stuff. They offer training and courses, and we were just there. It wasn't to promote or anything. It was just more so like fun pieces to get viewers in and readers like, oh wow, that's interesting. So I did one about why Sonic would be a great IT professional, and I was given a lot of praise for that because it's the truth. I wrote one about pro wrestling. I just tried to take what I love, but then I went outside the box with it. And that was about a year and a half ago. So that was fun. If
life ever seems to open up, which probably not as a full-time working adult with children, but we do have bossrush.net, Corey, where we do always welcome writers who write about video games and or entertainment. Just saying. And I'm one of the copy editors.
Well, hey, I'm just saying, I make time for everything, so that's something on my radar. That's something on my radar because I got a lot. I keep an eye. I do for as much as I work, and I always keep an eye on what's going on, especially in the entertainment industry. And I told him tonight, there's just something that's been off my chest that I'm finally around phenomenal people who have a grasp and just really know what's going on. So maybe I'm going to get your take on some stuff.
Yeah, no, and just in general too. I'm not just trying to wear my recruiter hat, but I'm also a fellow writer. Like I'm a novelist. I'm waiting for my 4th novel to come out. So like whenever anyone talks about what they're writing, I get interested. So
that's awesome.
If you ever feel like writing about video games again, let Corey or myself or anyone know.
Definitely.
Yes.
Keep that on the radar.
Yes.
No pressure, really.
Are you excited for this new Sonic game that's coming out in November?
Frontiers?
I am. I didn't get to really watch I didn't get to watch the trailer yet, but I am excited. I'm excited. I've seen some stills of it. It looks really good. I'm excited for the other new movie coming out too. We just watched that's how behind I am. I didn't even get to watch the second Sonic movie. We just watched it. I want to say a month ago with like little ones. And that was a challenge in itself, but I really enjoyed that. Jim Carrey's up in the air. Jim Carrey. Well, I watched it on Prime because I have like 75 subscriptions, and I rarely watch any of them because again, Yeah. But Jim Carrey may not come back for that, so that's gonna be interesting. I don't know how that's gonna work.
That's gonna be. I mean, I'm sure Paramount will back up a truckload of cash to Jim Carrey's house and say, please, just 10 minutes, please. We need your mustache and your Carrey-ness.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. It was intrigued because he said he wanted to retire, and definitely
retire from acting.
Yeah. He said it was like. Yeah, he's done it every interview. He's done it like 6 or 8 interviews, and he's worded differently. He said the same thing. He's like, listen, I'm at peace with myself. He's like, I wanted to make people happy. I did that. He wants to like paint and be. I forgot what he wants to do, but he just wants to just ride in the sunset. He has no need.
That's fair.
Yeah, we can't blame him. Yeah,
he deserves it.
I agree. Sucks, but you can't disagree.
Yeah, great Robotnik though. Just
he is. Man. You can't beat that.
Oh man, good times. Well, we're gonna save our Patreon stuff for later, but we're gonna talk about what we've been playing, watching, and or doing. Girard, you're our esteemed guest. I'm gonna throw it your way first. What are you playing? You threw it in our episode group chat. You threw out a title that I was like, huh, that's interesting.
So what I've been playing recently, believe it or not, like I said, I've started to get a little heavier into because I used to play everything, right? I played sports games, I used to play RPGs, everything, but I just started playing it. I got the new Madden because I pre-ordered NBA 2K23 Jordan Edition before we went on vacation. I came back about a week ago. I'm always like, you should go ahead and get the Madden. I was like, I don't know. So I started playing that, but one of my favorite games, so that's one I haven't played it recently, but that's one of my favorite games for NES. It was Friday the 13th. Love Friday the 13th. Game, super skilled. I thought it was hard when I was younger, and then as you get older, you realize like, wow, holy shit, this is pretty challenging.
Yeah.
And then I played Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and that was even more challenging. So those are. But I'm a big horror nut too. I love horror movies. It's another, I could be here doing 20 episodes on just horror movies. That's what I'm playing lately. Madden. I started breaking out the Sega Genesis Mini again. Just playing. It's mostly too. It's a big part of it's playing my older son because he has a blast with it. So he loves playing Sonic. We play the old WWF games, and we just play a bunch of different stuff. The older Maddens, and we have a good time, man.
Yeah.
My younger son comes up. He doesn't understand too much right now, but he tries to play with us and kick it. So that's what I've had playing going on. Watching, I just saw the Black Phone. Actually, my wife took me out for my birthday last week, so that was fun.
What's that?
That's right. Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, I made it through another year. 34 is good so far, so let's keep it going strong, hopefully. The Black Phone had Ethan Hawke, and it was about a guy who, in I think it was 1970s, he was a kidnapper, and they would call him the Grabber, and his trademark was he'd leave balloons. It's like a horror thriller. It was really good. Had a good story, had a good ending, and then what happens is when he gets trapped in this padded room under a house, all of the bodies of the other children, they start calling him on this phone, it's disconnected. It has no, the wires are cut, everything. It's all dingy, basement looking thing. And they call him and they tell him how to, start escaping. It's a really good, thriller horror. I enjoyed it. The previews looked pretty good, so that was fun. Yeah, it's really good. Really, really good.
Cool.
I'm also, I guess, I wanted to share this on here. I haven't shared it anywhere because I normally don't. My wife, about 3 weeks ago, entered me into a horror contest. She didn't tell me about it. She's like, Gerard, babe, who do you love? And I'm telling her. I was like, why? She's like, come here. I need you to answer this one question. So the contest goes for the entire year. It's called the Faces of Horror. And on September 6th, shameless plug, I'm going to be putting it out there to vote because if I win, I get to actually star in a horror movie.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, that's super cool. I get to,
That's cool.
if I win. And I made it to the finals so far. But then I found out there's 20 different levels. There's the Hellraiser level to this level. You have to go through like semifinals. They just have horror movie names and references.
Mm-hmm.
So once I, fingers crossed, if I keep making it through, I'll get to be in a horror movie with Kane Hodder, who played Jason in a few of the Friday the 13th. And
Ooh.
I get to stay in the Silence of the Lambs house. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
That's cool.
Yeah, she is. She entered me and I was like, I didn't know at all. And she's
What
like,
a good wife.
I know. That's where she is. She's a keeper. Without her, I couldn't do any of this. I know that. So, but that's what I've had going on. Come back from vacation and living life.
Nice. Is the new Madden good?
No.
That
was simple.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. So I didn't want to get it. I just wanted the NBA because they put a lot of work. They put 2 years, completely redesigned the whole game engine system.
Mm-hmm.
How they played it, and it's almost like a game in one. And what I mean by that is because I love old school basketball. I don't watch new stuff. I just love 70s, 80s, my eras. And they went ahead and the way the time they spent, I think it was about a year and a half or more. So in the Jordan edition, you can go back and play as him in college all the way up through when he started, and you do all these things. But the game engine and they actually have it snowy, it looks like a 1980s screen. It looks phenomenal. Cool. PS4 is one thing. PS5 is out of this world, and they also have it the fouls are different. It's a whole different game. Not like today, where it's oh, you scrape your arm. It's oh, you're fouled out of the game. No. This is
mm-hmm.
You're gonna get your ass beat when you're playing against the Pistons of 1988. So they did a whole different game. Madden, I believe it or not, and I have love for Madden, but I stopped playing it years ago because it was just very drawn out, same engine, No new update. They're like, oh, they implemented Field Sense, which is new technology, and I don't think that's possible because, like, the other day I was playing my son, and my guy stood there and then traveled 30 yards. It was just bad. I think it was they focused more because he passed away.
Yeah.
So they honored him really phenomenally, but in lieu of that, the game just suffered some more. Even NFL players were coming out there like, this game is trash. Don't buy this.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I was thinking about playing it because with my Game Pass subscription, I get 10 free hours of Madden. I was like, I could download this and just play it, you know?
Right.
But then I'm like, but the last couple of years have just been so bad, and I don't know. I haven't really played Madden, like really played since probably the beginning of the 360 PS3 era, to be honest. Like, I can't.
Yeah. I stopped around PS4, and I don't even remember which one. It was maybe 2011. Like, it's been years. I haven't, like, if my friends had it and I was like, oh, maybe I'll play a game with them, but I've never owned a copy. My wife was like, get it. And you know what? I kind of folded because, like, you know what? Passed away, and they did a lot on it. Like, so I wanted it for that. I was like, oh, maybe the game will play somewhat better, but no, same bad, terrible gameplay. Nothing's changed.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That saves me $60 for maybe one of these Zelda ports that's rumored to be coming out this fall.
You shut your mouth, Corey.
Those Nintendo Direct rumors are shooting around again.
I know it's trending.
No, LeRon, I'm like you now. Whenever someone or including myself, anyone mentions a certain game that gets you all worked up because it keeps getting delayed.
I'm so fucking cynical at this point.
Yeah, so now when I hear a Nintendo Direct rumor, I'm like, get that out of here. I don't even want to see it. I don't want to hear it.
Oh my gosh. And then Ed in the writers chat was like, oh, they're going to announce ARMS too. And I'm like, no, stop with the ARMS garbage. And I know he's just doing it to push my buttons, but
trolling.
Anyways, Stephanie, what are you doing? What are you playing, watching?
I'm doing stuff. So for things that I've watched, actually, I think I already mentioned I watched Nope a while ago. So I've been watching a TV series, The Sandman, on Netflix.
How is it?
It's okay. It's not terrible. I didn't even realize, because I'm more of a Marvel person than a DC person, but it's based off DC stuff, which now kind of explains it, because the thing about DC is I like some of their ideas, but when they translate to movie or film, and I'm not criticizing DC, it's just I just feel like there's just something missing. But overall, it's okay because I like the concept. I like the concept of Dream as an entity and his siblings. The Talking Crow is a bit of humorous, and I like the cast. There's a good cast there. A couple of Game of Thrones people that are in there. I'm 3 episodes in, 4 maybe. So I'll keep watching it.
Yeah, they hyped that up. I watched DC Fandom last year because it was all virtual and still with the pandemic and everything. And I remember, I've always been a Marvel. I like Marvel and DC. So I'm a big comic nut. I had a comic collection. I still have it. It's down at my mom's house in Virginia, and it's like it could fill my master bedroom. Like, it's insane. And I always used to collect the old 60s Daredevil comics and get the sleeve for them. Like, I was that kid,
Nice.
But what you just said was spot, and that's why I asked Corey. I said, what's off limits? Because I don't know if y'all been seeing what's been going on with the whole Warner Brothers DC merger mess. It's so bad right now.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. But yeah, it's just, overall, it's good enough for me to keep watching. And I won't spoil it in case you do want to choose to watch it. But the last episode that I watched, the primary episode was more focused on one of the kind of sort of antagonists. Not a main antagonist, just like a side character that's, I don't know. And we're trying to, as he possesses something that the Sandman's looking for, but it was so weird, the way he was using the power, and then by mid-episode, people were fucking each other. It was, my son's still awake. It was weird. It just didn't make sense. Why does everything have to end with everybody having sex with each other in the same room? It just didn't make any sense. I'm like, what am I watching? But that wasn't the primary arc, so I forgave that episode and just kept going.
Yeah, I have to. I wanted to give that show a look. The cast looked phenomenal, so I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah,
it did. Just on that principle, because I love a good story, and if the cast is solid, then I'll watch it.
Exactly. So that's what I've been watching. What I've been gaming. I tried out Death's Door finally through my Steam Deck because I went through that whole rigmarole of going that roundabout way of downloading Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta and Game Pass, and it runs. As long as I don't click on the wrong damn button and go into like computer mode, which you can on the Steam Deck, and that's a royal pain in the patoot. Works fine. I've had zero issues with Death's Door running via Game Pass on my Steam.
You want to explain to us how you got it? Wait, you know what? Didn't you write an article on how you got it done?
I did, but I can give a high level. And I was considering doing a video, but I haven't really figured out how I'm going to do it. So, because I'm not going to put a crap video out. But the bottom line is, and we can always provide the link to the how-to, is there's a desktop mode on the Steam Deck. So the Steam Deck itself has the Steam application, which is your primary. That's what you're almost always on. But technically, if you go hit Steam and the power button, there's a desktop mode, and it brings you to what looks like a literal desktop. So you go click on an icon in the toolbar to search for Microsoft Edge.
Mm-hmm.
You install Microsoft Edge. Then you enter, it's like some sort of command code or something. You install that on Steam. Then when you get back on Steam, you need to enter another command code, like this really long string of letters and stuff like that, that if you run Microsoft Edge, it runs it straight to the Xbox cloud gaming site.
Oh.
Interesting.
But it's a pain because, it's not a mouse and keyboard. I had to get a wireless mouse. I had to get a wireless keyboard. I know that if you hit certain buttons, sometimes you can prompt up a virtual keyboard, but I wasn't able to do that. So I had to get all this, because you have to type up this whole string of code on this tiny little thing. And I mean, in hindsight, if I had a proper to do, because a lot of the stuff on YouTube and what's currently out there, I've noticed things are not 100% or not really that clear. Overall, I could walk someone through it and it really won't be that bad. But unless you're an IT person, because LeRon, maybe you might understand the typing and commands and stuff like that, the average, especially console gamer, is going to pull their hair out unless they have someone walking you through it.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens,
it's not meant for general.
High level emulation, because I consider emulation, even though technically it's doing Xbox Cloud, it's high level emulation and stuff like that.
Exactly. So I know when was it you? I forgot who. I think it was you, LeRon, that shared that the second iteration of the Steam Deck is already being conceived.
Yeah, it's already yeah.
I see the Steam Deck, just that next generation, just being more streamlined with stuff like that, because its actual function, the way it works and plays games, has been fine. I've had no problems with games that are compatible with the Steam Deck. It's perfect. It's beautiful. Runs well. I think the next step would be, Corey made the comment, getting Destiny to run on it, or to be able to properly channel Xbox Cloud Gaming without having to go through desktop mode and enter a command. I think that's kind of the next.
Yeah, I feel like Valve want to make sure that the current Steam Deck is as accessible as possible and stuff like that. But the major focus was, of course, trying to get everything on the Steam platform to work. I think this next iteration will be better accessibility and stuff like that. If it stays open source, that means it still invites people to put emulators on it and all that stuff, which that's not a bad thing at all. Even though it looks like Denuvo and Nintendo are looking to team up real soon here, which I think Denuvo and Nintendo should not link up until the next version of the Switch comes out. And by the next version of Switch, I mean the next Nintendo console, not any more updates or upgrades or whatnot and stuff like that, because the Switch is some old ass hardware right now.
Yeah.
So, and Denuvo breaks games. Denuvo breaks games to the point where if the games can't communicate with servers, you can't play the game.
It's interesting too, because I look at things from the IT perspective, network gear and stuff. But I wonder too, because I don't follow a whole lot what consoles are they still really hurting with a lot of the chip shortages and everything that's still going on?
The chip shortage is still a thing. It doesn't. it doesn't seem to be impacting certain markets more, like at the same rate as other markets and stuff like that. Because Sony just raised the price the price of both PS5 consoles in practically every other region except the United States.
But I think the consoles are slowly getting more accessible.
Yeah.
Like it's catching up, but it's definitely not up. Still not fully.
I hear more people saying that they are getting PlayStations and Xboxes than I hear now people saying they can't find one.
Yeah. So my buddy, I remember when I was working at my last job, he had to leave and he had to go get one at like 3:30 at Taylor Walmart. He's like, go to get a PS5, and he walked out. Like it was like a luck of the draw type thing, but they were difficult to get. So that's why I was curious.
Yeah. It's starting to even out and stuff like that. Sony does cite that the price updates were because of the inflation and like they're still combating the component shortage and stuff like that. But I mean, and last night on Crossroads I went to this big breakdown about because last night's Crossroads episode might as well have been named "Everybody Hates Sony." Because like Sony's been having like a really bad 3 weeks lately. Price hikes this week on the hardware. Last week they catch a lawsuit in the UK about the price of the digital store. The week before that, we get these vague insinuations about PSVR, but we still don't know a date on it. A date or an MSRP and stuff like that. So right now Sony can't catch a good time. And so like I just put in perspective, I was like categorically, when you look at these price hikes, because everybody's saying, "Oh, this makes it way too unaffordable." I'm like, in Europe, it went up by 50 euros, which is a 10% increase. Like that's nothing. That's nothing. Like when we go to the store right now, they had the lettuce cost $4, and I'm not even talking about like walking into like freaking Whole Foods. I'm talking about like just like a regular. Walmart might still have them cheap, but like Kroger and your Farm Freshes and stuff, no.
If you find them cheap, let me know. Because I mean, we talk about, but like the way it is right now, it's crazy. Like I went the other night and I just got a soft because I ran up the street because my Walmart was closed because they got those hours now because they're still like post pandemic. I remember they used to be open 24/7 and now they're like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So I was like, man, I got to run and get diapers. And I literally got a soft pack of diapers. A soft pack of diapers was $13 or $14.99. Like I'm not even kidding. The grocery store, and that was $13.49. Yeah, that was because for 19 diapers, which isn't a whole lot when you got 3 kids in diapers. It's just wild. Like a gallon of milk is almost $5. Like it's crazy. That's
crazy.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I know.
So if you hear the cynical people, they're saying, yeah, like the console's still hard to find. But but like I said, like I hear more people say that they're getting a system than people who are complaining that they can't find one.
Yeah. Well,
so that's Death's Door, and I won't take up too much more time. But the other game I've finally been digging into, LeRon is Monster Hunter. I successfully completed my first hunt last night.
Did you understand what I said about like starting the missions?
I did. I went to the lady at the desk, and then I started the mission, and my boyfriend got left behind. I'm like, what's happening?
Because he has to make sure he's ready as well.
But we don't know how to ready ourselves. So I ended up sending the owl, and he had to go to the board and find my call out, and that's how, I don't know.
Yeah.
So we were just running around trying to chase this monster that looked like half toucan, half dinosaur. That was throwing rocks and pecking at the ground.
Kurapeko.
Yes. I was like,
I'm sorry, not Kuluyaku. Kuluyaku. I'm getting my monsters confused.
So eventually, like I was getting it, and I'm actually having a lot of fun.
What weapon are you using?
A sword and shield.
Oh yeah, you getting your link on, aren't you?
Yeah.
Old school.
But I gotta practice my combos because I end up dodging more than using my shield. So we'll see. So I'm working out the kinks, and I'm learning that Monster Hunter missions are more of a marathon, not a sprint. Because I'm like, why won't this thing freaking die? We were like on the mission for like 40 minutes.
Well, the key to learning Monster Hunter is learning the monster behavior. Like you will start noticing when you're literally beating the thing's ass because you start toppling it enough, and then it'll start running from you. And you notice it's not quite running; it's more like limping away from you and stuff like that. You have to look for the monster cues and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
So you're
more to
living
come, LeRon.
you're living your Legend of Zelda life. So you're gonna go from the sword and shield to the bow next, aren't you?
Possibly.
There's not a boomerang in there, is there?
Now it's a weapon. Now a boomerang used to be a utility item that you could have, but I haven't seen a boomerang in the game since Monster Hunter World.
Okay. Well,
that's it. Who's next?
Well, since I kind of want to touch on the WB thing real quick because we only have a short amount of time with Girard, and I know that's something that we said we were going to talk about. So, for those who don't know, WB and Discovery have merged into one super duper cluster company and canceling a bunch of stuff and selling the CW and doing all these things, canceling Batgirl. Still, apparently, The Flash was still happening, supposedly, or something. I don't know. So, Girard, you brought this topic. I'm going to throw it to you. Let's start with it.
I think I'm gonna need multiple episodes for this one.
That's
so
fine.
I'm gonna get to what I can. It sucks because as a diehard comic book fan, and I mentioned this today, Marvel put a formula out there that they didn't know was even going to work. They finally said, like, we're going to put this out there, and they took that chance after Iron Man 2. It just sucks when you see something. So they organically took the path, right? And DC had that opportunity, I feel. The Warner Brothers thing, like, it sucks because they believe that by doing this. So for those, who keep up with it, because I read this stuff. This is one of the big things I read every day because I love creating content and someone, we work in the entertainment industry and do different things in our own way. So it sucks because this is supposed to create a lot more opportunity, but David Zaslav, I probably think I said his name right, is just, he's lost touch of what it is like, especially. So one of the strategies was they're canceling. They used to do, so they released in the movie theaters, right? Because they had to switch their model during the pandemic, and they were doing a lot of either the 30-day streaming afterwards, like after movies release, or if it got released in the theaters, it would get simultaneously released. He cut that off. He's like, well, I don't really care if you're, vaxxed or scared. He's like, we're releasing the movie in theaters, so that's it. The goal of all this was to do a tax write-off, and that's what started with Batgirl, and I think right now it's up to 50 other projects. And I was going to save them there's over $2 billion, and it backfired so badly that it's actually up to $5 billion. They can't even release a movie. They can only release 2 movies this year. Whoa. They are financially broke. I was telling her they're broke. And I'm not, you could Google this, you could go Warner, but it's like the top, because they update it every day, of course. It's like the top news story. They are broke. Cannot buy a McDonald's double cheeseburger, broke. They're going to release Black Adam, and they can't market it. They have no money to market, and they have no money to. I think that's crazy. And right now, and I've been reading, and all these industry insiders are saying, if you're looking for somewhere to work, if you're in there internally, get out. If you're not there, stay away. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And Legendary Pictures, I read this yesterday. Legendary Pictures, who produced Man of Steel, Godzilla vs. Kong, which again, love me some good monster movies. They're actually backing out of their deal after the last movie they finished. So it's not a good time right now. I guess it sucks, especially I like DC. I think they have some of the biggest and greatest catalog of characters, not just the villains, but just characters.
Yeah,
so what we're looking at here is the regime change. The regime change is what's killing this damn thing. And by the way, I'm one of those people I was one of those people when the pandemic happened and I heard when I heard the theater industry was in trouble, I was like, yes, let them die because I would rather watch my shit at home.
Right.
I really would.
Too.
So if this guy's gonna help perpetuate it, good. That's the one good thing he's doing.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, I gave everybody an option, So if you weren't comfortable for whatever your rhyme or reason may be, respectfully, if you didn't want to go to the movies, you could watch it at home because Peacock's still doing it.
Yeah.
Halloween Ends is coming out, I think October 9th, I believe. I don't remember the day. October 10th. She's like, we're doing Jamie Lee Curtis made an announcement. We're doing the same thing. We're going to be in theaters. You want to go to theaters? Go to theaters. You want to watch it at home? Stream it at home.
Yeah.
I just think you should have an option. I mean, everybody has that, but to just take it away.
Well, that's what Disney was doing for a while too, right? You could you go to the theater or you can premium purchase it on Disney Plus for $30. which is.
I remember they did that with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Shang-Chi. That was crazy though. Like the movie was good, but I remember when it was like $30.99 and everybody's like, "Ew, like why are you charging?"
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
like
they did that with Black Widow too.
That was ridiculous. That was the same price as buying like the entire UHD bundle that gets you the 4K Blu-ray, the regular Blu-ray, and the DVD all on the. I'm like, damn. I'm like,
and I read that last year, and all they're like, "Oh, well, this is to try to like make up some." I get the why as a consumer.
Well, I get it because like one person
I go to a theater.
One person rents it and they can have like 14 of their buddies in the living room watching it. I understand that. I get that. But at the same time, you gotta make it a little palatable because I guarantee you didn't make that much money for it didn't make that much more money and stuff like that, which probably is understandable why Scarlett Johansson pitched the damn fit, about Black Widow.
I think she was right about it.
I think she was
my opinion, and
I think she was right too. Yeah, I think she was right too. Like it was kind of underhanded because and also like this was her. I think it was her debut as a producer, an executive producer for a property and stuff like that. So yeah, Disney kind of shot her in the leg, as she was walking away, and I was like, come on now.
Now while we're on this, and I gotta ask y'all because I know some people like DC, some are like, what was your take on the Snyder Cut?
Did
anybody watch?
Oh my gosh, I was so bored. It took me 5 days to watch it.
There's no way in hell I was going to sit through that long of a movie. And this is coming from someone who hasn't even watched Justice League.
I always ask people's opinions because, Ben Affleck was announced as Batman. I remember where I was. I was at Kelly's pub, nice pub around my house with my friends. I was sitting out. I got out of work. This was years ago. Like, Ben Affleck's going to be Batman. And I was like,
Here's the thing, though. Like, I think the cast.
I was not a. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think the cast that they have is amazing. I think they're all great. It's just like, put it together now, guys.
Right. Well, I wasn't a fan. Then I saw him in Batman vs Superman, and I was like, because of the story, the kind of Batman they were telling, the story. Again, for me, one thing I will say this unanimously: I love a good story. If a story can compel me, if it has a good story, that's what hooks you in. I think some things they lack that. But that really did. It drew me in, and that's what I mean. Henry Cavill now, he's like, I don't really want to play Superman anymore. I mean, that's a rumor. That's not confirmed. Supposedly, this whole Black Adam movie and Dwayne Johnson.
Well, the rumor is that Henry Cavill is the front runner for 007 now. Yeah, that came out today.
Oh, wow. I missed out on a lot of news.
I think, Deadline might have reported on that?
Someone put Tom Holland. They said he was at the top of the list too. I'm like,
yeah.
What?
Well, they were.
Yeah, how did he get there?
They were aiming at like a
Superboy.
No, they were aiming at like doing a young 007 and having someone do like 10 movies, and it's like nobody's gonna sign up for 10 movies.
He's still got 3 more Spider-Man movies. He needs to worry about that shit.
I saw the article in passing. That's the one I didn't get to click on. I just didn't have time. But I was like, how did it go from Henry Cavill? There's someone else. I don't remember who. And then it was like, well, Tom Holland just jumped the list. I'm like, Tom Holland jumped the list for who?
Idris Elba has also been rumored for a while.
Racist ass motherfuckers killed that though.
I know Idris Elba was my guy for the running. Like he'd be so perfect.
God, he'd just be so good.
He would. Can I? This is why I get excited. I'm really excited. He would be perfect. They've been talking about that for what, almost like a year now. Idris Elba, he's a solid.
No, they've been talking about it since
they were talking about that. They were talking about that when Daniel Craig announced that he was not going to do anymore before they started filming No Time to Die.
That was about 2-3 years ago. So this has been a while. Longer. I love Idris Elba's work. Great actor. And this is what blows my mind is the same people that are saying, well, I don't know because of the. Well, they also said Leslie Grace wouldn't be a good Batgirl because she's like in things I've read, like she's Latina. Yeah. What does that have? And I always will direct people in any conversation respectfully. Now I want to take you back to 2002, 2003. We had the catastrophe that was Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I didn't mind it at the time because I'm a kid. I'm 34 now, but back then I was a kid. So the movie's fine. Oh, Michael Clark Duncan is the Kingpin. Nailed it. He nailed that movie. And they all said the same thing, but he nailed that movie right out of the park. So I don't really get the logic in that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we can't understand the minds.
Can we talk since we're talking about that, can we talk about Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman again? I'm a fan.
Hey,
I was a fan too.
Halle Berry walked so she could run.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Look, I mean, Halle Berry is
That
Catwoman for different reasons, I guess, but
that
probably
movie-
similar reasons for me.
That movie was a good movie too, but
Yeah, it was.
It got shitty marketing. If you look at the marketing of that movie when I was in like middle school, it's like I didn't really know. It's like Halle Berry as Catwoman. There's no why. You didn't see a lot about it. I was like, why?
I can understand to a point why people want to be like, because just like how everyone was like, oh, white actress should play Catwoman. I'm saying for like Scarlett Johansson should not be playing every fucking ethnicity and gender under the fucking sun.
Mhm.
Like I mean, what's right is right, but if we're looking at a fantasy realm and stuff like that, first of all, like for Leslie Grace, for example. She's playing a fictional character from a comic book, and we all know on a good day, like the producers of the comic books can wake up and say, "Oh, guess what? Jim and Barbara Gordon are no longer white people." They can say that in the comics universe,
Mhm. Well, Jim Gordon's not white anymore.
He's not.
No, in the Batman. In the Batman, it was
I haven't watched the Batman yet.
What's his
Who
name?
was it? Was it not Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
No.
That was what's his name?
For
me.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. You guys talk.
It was shoot. Come on. It has the picture, but it's Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright. Sorry, that was it.
Yeah,
All right.
he was awesome too.
I mean, we just had a Resident Evil where Wesker was black.
I know.
Ugh.
Lance
They
Reddick,
got
dude.
canceled.
And I'm sorry,
They
I
got
didn't
canceled.
go because of the actor. I actually love the actor. I went because it got canceled. Sorry, I just want to make it very clear why I made the noise.
Yeah.
Are you watching it?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Okay, I saw 2 episodes and I couldn't keep going.
I
But-
tried so hard.
Lance Reddick.
I
though.
heard there was some mixed reviews, and I love Resident Evil, and every review I got, I was
Okay.
like, eh.
Here's what I'm gonna say because number one, like fans were upset about the Paul W.S. Anderson movies, which the guy started making a completely like original story that took place in that universe, and then everybody bitched about that and was like, you need to make it a little more canonized. He did that with Resident Evil Apocalypse, and that shit, people were pissed off about that. So he was like, I'm just gonna do what the fuck I want to. So we got 6 movies, which I was thoroughly entertained on those movies. I have my reasons, but I was thoroughly entertained on those movies. And then we have Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City that comes out, and everybody's like, oh, this is gonna, the producers are like, yeah, this is gonna be true to like the content and stuff like that. It was not true to the content.
Look,
It was not.
Fans of everything are going to be mad about everything. I mean, look at Halo this year.
No.
Look at Halo this year. You know?
I
It's okay to
don't
listen to
have
your
I don't have a leg to stand on with Halo because like I really don't know shit about Halo, but I enjoyed this season of Halo. I did.
Yeah. I'm
did.
just saying,
And,
like,
if anybody wants to have a conversation about why they think Halo is bad, like hit me up at EXODUS803 on Twitter.
Yeah, I was the same. I never played Halo religiously. Like my dad used to play, but I didn't. I mean, I respect Halo. I know the game, the characters, but that's what it is. I think in anything, in life, it's okay to have a fan base. You got to have a voice because you got to listen. But and then I just think there's that overage, right? And then like producers, like, look what happened with Thor: Love and Thunder. I just read today. Taika Waititi's like, I'm not coming back for Thor 5 because at number 1, he didn't feel like he achieved the success he got with Thor Ragnarok, like that taken that kind of undergrossing, like from a financial standpoint, the character didn't do the kind of money like Hulk was doing, wasn't doing with Iron Man's and stuff. Now he did this movie.
The problem is we have Marvel fatigue now. I hate to say it. Like I have not been running to the movie theater to see every Marvel film, and I sure as hell have not been running to see every Marvel show on Disney Plus, even though I'm subscribed.
Love and Thunder was really good.
What was that? I didn't hear.
I said Love. I thought Love and Thunder was really good, but keep going.
I liked it. No, yeah. And I'm saying I'm a Disney Plus subscriber. I watched She-Hulk. I was excited for that. I'm really throwing off though. So D23 is coming up and they're supposed to be doing their big announcements. And I'm really, you know what? Well, let's circle back because that's what I mean. I could. So the Batgirl thing, I want to finish this. I gotta say this, and I want to. So they fired her. Then they go ahead and they literally go a week later. They go, the executive producers go, hey, listen, we know we canned your movie.
We'll give you a new job.
We canned your movie. We're gonna hold a funeral screening on the Warner Brothers parking lot for all the producers, all the people. We're gonna hold a funeral screening. We're gonna destroy it, but we'd like you to come back in another project. I know you found out on Twitter. I know you found out. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I love it because she was like, hell no.
He's like, yeah, get out of here. Everybody's like, oh, there goes her opportunity. I was like, I don't know how you see that.
No. They fucked her opportunity from jump. They fucked her opportunity.
Yeah.
You fucked Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. How do you screw? And listen, now wait. This is someone who, again, I like. I'll tell you why I really was a fan of the Snyderverse. I like the story. I saw the release storyboards, the finished ones that were colored in for Justice League 2, what was supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
I like the concept of the dead Robin because Robin's my favorite DC character. Still haven't gotten a solid Nightwing movie, but I'll take Titans because I love Titans, which also is on the chopping block. And I'm like, how? It just came off of a third season. I didn't even watch Titans until last year with the pandemic, and I was like, man, I'll get around to it. I watched one episode. I was like, this is good, and I got hooked. I watched all of it.
Mm-hmm.
How is that a chopping block? But I go ahead, listen. They're going to do what they're going to do. It's just, I'm interested to see the fallout from that.
I have my theories about why like all these DC properties are just failing, because at the end of the day everybody compares it to what Marvel's doing in the cinema and what they're doing on Disney Plus. That's the long and short of it. And Warner Brothers was a real deal freaking movie production company at the time. So like they respected the thoughts, views, and opinions of their directors and executive producers. So when you have like these big expansive projects like the DC movie universe, and where you got Christopher Nolan saying, no, I'm doing my movies like this, and you got Zack Snyder saying, no, I'm doing my movies like this, and you got like Patty Jenkins did. I think she
killed her Wonder Woman.
Huh?
She killed her Wonder Woman.
Did she direct the second one?
Yep. But she signed on for the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she need to do better.
She's also signed on for the Rogue Squadron show for Disney Plus. So
she needs to do better, because like Wonder Woman 84, oh my god, I thoroughly enjoyed Wonder Woman, the original movie, and then the 84 comes out, and I'm like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Did I step into the mirror universe? What's happening?
But that's what happened. They were. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Corey.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, they also like just sold the CW and like canceled all their superhero shows there too, right? Like, to me, like,
so that happened. That did happen.
Yeah, it did. You know what else got canceled? Gotham Knights. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
Wait, what?
No, not the video game. Not the video game. No. Because I was excited for the video game. No, the video game I'm excited for, and then they decided to kick me in the ass and go, "F you, we're not gonna." Because right now we're gonna get a PS5. We didn't get one yet, just because we're trying to. But we got a PS4, and it was supposed to come out on all gens, and then they're like PS4 and something else. We're not gonna release it, so that's hurt. But my money's gonna go to AEW Fight Forever. So I found a new vacant slot for that. But no, there was a show called Gotham Knights that was supposed to come out on the CW.
I had no idea.
Short of it had like Carrie Kelly, like the from the Dark Knight Returns. It had a few other characters, and again, it's set in a universe where Batman's dead, and it's all these sons and daughters of villains, like the Joker's daughter, and like it's one of those shows. Again, I'll go ahead and give anything an opportunity within reason. I will, and I would have gave it an opportunity, but like the trailer looks so bad. It looks so bad, and I was just like, and it got no grace. Everybody's like, cancel immediately, and then like a month later, it was like, oh, CW show canceled, but the Warner Brothers thing. But you hit the nail on the head. I'm like, they were one of the most reputable studios and then look, and I'll give you another example. I love the Friday movies, like Ice Cube. Ice Cube's my favorite rappers. I love Friday. I love the movies he makes. Do you know why they haven't made a new Friday in all these years? Is because he's actually still, I don't know, I could be wrong. People have to look it up, but he's still legally, like, he's with Warner Brother. Like, they're going at it, because when the Ride Along came out, I don't know if you remember Ride Along, Kevin Hart. That movie was phenomenal. And he was there, Warner Brothers. And again, the other CEO was like, well, this movie's never going to sell, because they wanted to put him with, give me a second. Who was the guy? We're the Millers. I know his name.
Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis.
They're like, we want to put you with Jason Sudeikis. He goes, why? And he said, because two men of, and if I can say, I'm just reading. It's an article. He's like, well, it wouldn't work with you two, because, well, it just wouldn't work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
I guess they never saw. I guess they never saw this movie called Bad Boys.
Wait, not only did it blow up in their face, they sold it to. Again, I remembered at the time, this was like 2 months ago. I don't know, it was New Line or whoever produced Ride Along. It grossed stupid money. They did another sequel, did even more money. It's just one of those things where, like, if you still think like that, and that's why we haven't got New Friday, because New Line, he's trying to get the rights back to make a New Friday because Warner Brothers has them. Mm-hmm. And it sucks because we didn't get it before, Pops died, and it was supposed to have every character. But yeah, that's been in limbo for like 3 years. I love the Friday movies. I think they're hysterical. But,
yeah. I just look at all the stuff that Hollywood and by Hollywood does on both the silver and the blue screen, and it's just mind-boggling sometimes. It's like you guys literally have stuff that prints money, and you do not know how to execute it, and that's what it is. It's a lack of execution, for the most part, stuff like that. Now, like, say what you will, Kevin Feige, I guess he's a tyrant or whatnot and stuff like that, but I am glad like he had a singular vision for what was going on over at Marvel with all that stuff. I hate that they did this whole thing where they divorced the TV division because like. My favorite show got caught in the flux of that, which we'll save that for another conversation. I'm not going to say what show that is, but
I was just about to find out. All right.
It ran for 7 seasons on ABC.
Oh, well, you know what? Hey, you know what? If there's only, I like that show too. And
the fact that like it wasn't one of Feige's babies and stuff like that, like all those characters who for the longest time we thought were canon, all of a sudden they decanonized it, once Disney Plus became a thing, and stuff.
Well, now the multiverse exists, so now it's all canon again.
Right. There's a whole saga now. And that's the one thing I will say. I like what you're saying. I didn't like that. It made sense because they would give references, and here's Captain America's shield and blah, blah. Then suddenly it's not canon. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And that's why I stopped watching because it made no sense. Nah, same happened with humans.
Can we end the show now? Can we end this? Wait. What did you say about the Inhumans?
I said I like the Inhumans, and again, if they did it right. I didn't finish. Let me finish. I like the Inhumans had they done it right. Now they brought Anton Mount back. You know what? I don't want to spoil it for those who still haven't seen the Multiverse of Madness.
I've seen Multiverse of Madness. I thought that was cool. They brought Anson Mount back as Black Bolt, but guess what? Anson Mount's Captain Pike now. So like he's on Star Trek. Like that's his home now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He commands the USS Enterprise. Keep him there.
It's true.
Look, I'm just glad that Warner Brothers said that The Flash could finish out its 9th season. That's all.
Yeah,
I stopped watching The Flash season 2.
So do I. But I really like that show.
They made a narrative mistake with it that I was like, no, you cannot do this, and I was like, I'm done.
I like the Arrowverse thing.
See, that's another thing too. Like
it got too much. It got too much. Like when they started doing like Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow and what was it? Black Bolt. What was it? Black
Lightning.
Black Lightning.
But here's the thing about it, though. That was a genius thing. Like if they just kind of picked up on what CW is doing with the Arrowverse, they could have had the perfect springboard for the Justice League project for the DC movie universe, cinematic universe.
I get it. I just
they didn't
feel
have
like
the
the
same
CW
actors and stuff like that.
I wish they weren't 23 episode seasons. If they were just like 8 to 10 episode seasons with like the crossover episodes, like punctuating them or whatever.
I hate you. I hate you guys that are in the streaming era of stuff because like I grew up.
No, I just don't have time to catch up on 5 shows that are 25 episodes apiece because I have 2 children that scream all the time.
That's understandable. That's understandable and stuff like that.
I thought you were going to point at me and say that's on you.
I wasn't gonna say that's on you, but I was gonna say is like if it's important enough, you figure out and find the time. That's all I'm gonna say because I mean I think
LeRon is saying that you should put this before your children.
Look,
that's not what I said.
Look, I did. I finished,
but I got tired of waiting for her to watch the new episode of She-Hulk. Like I gotta keep moving. Sorry.
Look, I did finish. I did finish the Orville though.
This is true.
That's because now the Orville is like, well, hold on. I think the Orville is already short seasons anyway.
I think they're 12
because
episodes.
Fox had no faith in them to begin with.
Yeah. Well, look, now that it's on Hulu and Disney Plus, they got that third season had a Disney budget, and let me tell you, it's like a totally different show.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like here's the reason why I like long cycle, like TV seasons versus the stuff that we have right now, 8 and 10 episode seasons, because like 8 to 10 episodes happen and this shit doesn't come back on for like another year, and then I'm still here stuck, like we're in episode 4 of something and they reference something that happened back in like episode 2 of season 1, and I'm like, wait, we're on season 5 now. How are y'all just now talking about this again? And stuff like that. Now, and we're like, this is what happened with me in Game of Thrones, which is why I am not watching the new House of Dragon at all. I'm not, because I can't do it again.
Well, next you're going to tell me you miss RF adapters and you want to switch your VCR to channel 3 and 4 to play your games.
The only reason why I would even go back to CRT is just to play music games. That's the only reason why I would go back to CRT, because like music games can't sync for shit. On any monitor you put it on, it doesn't matter if it's the most expensive monitor in the world or if it's the cheapest thing you can find on the shelves at Target and stuff like that. Like music games, like there's no such thing as syncing, because like there's no universal technology for all that for like TV screens and monitor screens and stuff now.
Sorry, LeRon.
Oh no. I was about to just wrap up like that. I was about to do what I said. That was what I was about to say.
Oh, you're right, man.
Side tangent. Nothing to do with what we're talking about, but the big Destiny 2 statue that I've wanted is back in stock on Amazon, and I'm like,
So you're going to buy that Destiny 2 statue?
I want it. I do.
So you're going to pay for that? You're going to go ahead right now?
How much is the statue?
Oh, it's $200.
Oh, that's not too bad. Too bad.
Yeah, but it's so big. I don't know where I'm going to put it. It's the Savathun statue with the wings and the.
I have no idea what that is.
I know you don't, but somebody that's listening might.
I might play Destiny soon though, because Green Man Gaming has it for like $20.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a steal.
Oh,
yeah, the Legacy Collection is $20 right now, 66% off.
I think it's $3 everywhere though.
I gotta run something by all of you.
What?
Yeah.
I gotta run something by you.
Uh-oh.
What do you guys think of the show You?
I've never watched it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
That's the show with Penn Badgley in it, right? Yeah, I haven't watched it either. But I am a Penn Badgley fan from my my watch of Gossip Girl that everybody makes fun of me of.
It's really the last thing I say, and then LeRon may have to end the show. Because I'm... Now, I want you to picture him as Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I saw that today.
I saw that today. I don't think so. He doesn't have. He's not. To me, he's not like imposing enough, and he doesn't look like. He still kind of looks like a kid,
Yeah.
And like I know they want
why the John Krasinski thing. What was the point in that? I know the whole point of it was, they give fans what they want, but like that's what they want. Why? Oh.
Man, I don't know, but I don't see Penn Badgley at all as Mr. Fantastic. I don't.
Me neither.
I don't.
I mean, I would say Johnny Storm, but Chris Evans kind of ruined that for everybody that plays that role now.
How about Chris Evans just plays Johnny Storm now, again?
Oh, so he just comes back full circle to his Marvel roots, huh?
Yeah, why not?
Jason Segel has the thing. I think that's interesting. Marshall from How I Met Your Mother.
I saw that rumor going around at one point too.
He's supposed to be in She-Hulk, so we're gonna see on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm more trusting of like the casting that Marvel does.
Yeah. Although I like the girl that plays She-Hulk.
Oh yeah.
She's getting good reviews.
Yeah.
Tatiana I can't pronounce her last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. Even though it's kind of weird though, because like her She-Hulk doesn't look like her, whereas Hulk looks like Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They did make that great joke in the last episode though.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I'm a completely different person.
Yeah. It's funny.
Like, I'm a completely different person now.
That was a good joke. Totally loved it. All right. So Girard, I know that you are you need to exit gracefully. Thank you for coming on, man. This was a blast. You're welcome here anytime you want to come on. You are welcome here. It's been fun. Got a lot of this WB topic. Really, really good. So, Girard, tell everybody where they can find you, how they can connect with you, all that good stuff.
Yeah, like I said, it was a pleasure. Thank you all for having me on. I had a blast. I definitely want to come back and talk more games and all kinds of fun stuff going on. But you can find me. I'm not hard. I'm on LinkedIn at Girard Kavelines, at GKavelines on Twitter. My brand is Tech House 570. So take a look at that. I got all kinds of cool stuff, content on there. And like I said, hopefully, fingers crossed, I make it through to that horror movie contest. We'll see how that pans out next time I talk to y'all.
Yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely will. I'll be in contact. I'll let y'all know. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, cool. Again, thanks for coming on. You're welcome here anytime. Just whenever you have a free Wednesday, just shoot me a DM and we'll make it happen.
All right, man. Sounds like a plan.
All right, cool.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Take care, everyone. It's nice to meet y'all.
All right.
He's cool.
Yeah. He's super cool.
He's good people.
Yeah, I enjoy working with him a lot. But yeah, I guess we could talk about what we've been playing and watching still again. LeRon, what are you doing? What are you up to?
I'm juggling my time right now between Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut and Saints Row, and trying to figure out, am I getting The Last of Us PlayStation? Because like I just saw the reviews of it, and you know what? I'm just gonna say it based on the reviews I've seen, because I've watched 3 different YouTube reviews, and basically everybody said that, like, for all the people who were saying like, no, this is a cash grab and all this stuff, this game will prove them wrong the moment they put it in their system and play it, because like this game looks like it's a current gen game, PS5 and Xbox Series X. It looks like that, whereas the PS3 game came out, then The Last of Us Remastered came out on the PS4, which basically was a slight upgrade. And I say slight because I just watched my boyfriend play The Last of Us Remake on my PS4, stuff like that. And I even like, because he got stuck someplace, so I downloaded his save file on the PS5 and actually like played it. And I was like, yeah, like even the PS5 is not upscaling it, this game to make it look that much more glorious and stuff like that. But shot for shot, when I was seeing the side by sides and stuff for the remastered versus the remake, I was like, this is a whole different game. Yeah, like the mechanics are still there and all that stuff, but graphically, this game looks like a whole different beast and stuff like this. This is not PS4 graphics, and it sure as hell is not PS3 graphics.
Yeah, I'm slowly getting tempted more and more, because every time PlayStation tweets out like the back and forth comparison, I'm like, yeah. That's a big difference.
And I'm just going to pose the question to you guys out there, like, and to the people who are listening, to the guys that have all these words to say about this stuff. What version of The Last of Us are you looking at when Sony puts out these freaking developer blogs and all this stuff? What version of The Last of Us are you guys looking at? Because like, I have an eye exam coming up on September the 7th, and you guys need to go see my damn doctor, because I don't know what the fuck y'all are looking at. I'm just going to say it like that, So I told myself I was going to hold out and wait for the PC version, but shit. The closer we get to September 2nd is more like I'm about to drop $70 on the PlayStation Store. $70 that I was actually holding in reserve just to re-up my PlayStation Plus premium membership. I'm like, you know what? I will gladly drop down to PlayStation Plus Extra, just so I can play like what's going to be a defining game, for it. It probably won't make game of the year. Like last week, Mary Helen was on a show with us, and we were talking about where God of War is going to be in a pissing match with Elden Ring, for game of the year. And stuff like that, I can't say The Last of Us remake is going to make game of the year, but like depending on where it lands in Jeff Keighley's lap for the Game Awards, like it might be a contender,
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't you guys say that they might put out some more physical Firefly editions once it goes on sale?
Yeah, I sent you that article link.
Right. So like I shouldn't expect it until September 2nd, though. That's the point, right? Like it's.
Yeah. What source was that?
I already forgot, but I remember reading it. And I'm like, all right, I think that means not the week of, but once it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know that they usually put out collector's editions after a lot of companies have started doing this because the demand is so high. Destiny started doing this. There's still pre-orders for the Witch Queen collector's edition that are coming out in like October and November, and the game came out in February. So
I wonder if they're going to allow any of those physical collector's editions or Firefly edition in physical stores, or if it's going to be through PlayStation Store online only to order it and have it shipped.
I mean, it might be both. It's probably going to be one of those things where you have to get in line at the PlayStation Direct store or whatever, you know.
What's going on with the Firefly edition? What's so special about it? You gotta forgive me. I no longer put weight on these collector's editions for anything because I've gotten burnt over the years with collector's editions, and it's just to the point where I don't care. Like I will spend $5 to $10 extra for a deluxe edition, but
that's all right. No, same here. But I think when I read it, I'm like, wow, this is actually like a special edition that I would be willing to pony up for if my computer would only load. Let me describe to you. It has. Package includes The Last of Us single-player story and the Left Behind prequel. Okay, I think that's nothing special. Limited edition steelbook display case, nothing special. The Last of Us American Dreams comics 1 through 4 with new cover art. Early unlock of the following in-game items, and it just lists a bunch of like stuff that you can have early. I thought there was more. Oh, it's the comics.
2 skill upgrades. That's an early unlock. A pistol rifle upgrade, which is the early. Oh, this is deluxe edition. They took the Firefly edition down off the PlayStation page. Yeah, I'm looking at the digital deluxe edition, which is $10 more. You know, I don't know if I really. I don't know if I don't want that. You know, like shit. Like you know. It's built for PS5, which I can understand why it's $70. That's all I'm going to say about that, you know. And you know, like, hey, as a host of Crossroads and stuff like that, I understand if you guys feel a certain way and think I'm a shill for Sony and whatnot. But guess what? Like, I talk the facts when I know them, and you know what? Like, you guys, something's wrong with you guys if y'all think that this is not worth $70. I'm just going to put it like that. So you know, like, hey, like if you don't like playing good video games, then go play the Ouya or go continue your Google Stadia membership.
Whoa, Towerfall Ascension on the Ouya is essential playing. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like yeah, so
it was so good they put it on every other platform after the Ouya failed.
Back to what I was saying about what I was playing. Like I'm playing Saints Row, and if you guys want to get an idea of like what like the shenanigans that are being had that with Saints Row and stuff, like check out Crossroads right now on my YouTube channel. Story and I had a very good discussion about everything that we've encountered in Saints Row. The game's fun. We don't understand why it's getting review bombed, you know, like and we talk about that stuff. And yeah, I'm continuing Ghost of Tsushima, you know, director's cut. And I actually said on the show last night, on Crossroads last night, that, you know, like, even though I got this game for free on PlayStation Plus, I'm going out and buying a physical copy because Sucker Punch deserves the fucking money.
Nice. Saints Row is on my radar. I want to play it. So everything that I've seen is like everybody played it before the day one patch, right? And I get it. Reviewers have to play it that way. And I get that games are broken beforehand. But then I started watching some stuff after it's been released. And yeah, there's still some stuff broken, but like it just looks like dumb fun. Like it just looks like fun.
That's all Saints Row has ever been. Yeah. You know, and the crazy part was, you know, like they basically pigeonholed the developers because, like, you know, the developers want to do something a little more less pedantic and, you know, immature than what they had been doing with Saints Row for a while. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like they started releasing games like Agents of Mayhem and stuff like that. People were pissed off about that, and they're like, no, just make Saints Row. Mm-hmm. So they went back to making Saints Row.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, I still want to play Saints Row. I will probably get it when it's on a sale somewhere, but
that's what I tell everybody. Like, you know, just wait for a nice sale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look, Black Friday it'll probably be $20 or $30, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it will. I'm pretty sure it will be because of the way the review scores have gone.
Yeah. So cool. Anything else, LeRon?
That's no, that's it for me so far. Like I said, I'm juggling whether or not I'm going to add like The Last of Us. Like it's starting to get that time of year. You know what?
You gotta pick and choose, man.
Well, no, it sucks because there was a bunch of games on Switch that were supposed to have been out by now. Where the fuck are they? Where the fuck are they? Where's Front Mission? Where is that? Front Mission
they're gonna
1
show
and 2.
they're gonna show it in that rumored Nintendo Direct where they're showing all the Zelda games.
They were supposed to have been out. They were supposed to have been out. Like the first one was supposed to be out at the beginning of summer, and the second one's gonna be out at the end of summer. Summer's over. Like the fall season of gaming is here. Like Ninja Turtles and Last of Us kicked that shit off.
Look, there's still 20 days left in summer, LeRon. Okay.
We got motherfuckers talking about Virgo season is here and all this stuff. Stop lying.
Pumpkin spice lattes are here. Okay,
exactly.
They are here.
Yeah, summer's over. Summer's over. Like basic bitches are back out doing their thing. Where the fucking Ugg boots at? That's how I know it's real.
Oh man.
I almost picked up a 6-pack of pumpkin spice cider. So yeah, there's that.
Look, if this
I have my moments of weakness too.
Look, if this Zelda Direct is real, I'm gonna crap my pants, but I'm also not gonna hold my
Zelda
breath.
Direct or Nintendo Direct with Zelda in it? There's a difference.
I know, but everybody's framing it as a Zelda blowout Direct.
If it's a Zelda Direct, I will call out sick to work, freak out.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. Because like the Nintendo fans actually had me on the hype train a while back. What was that one Nintendo Direct that was supposed to be like the Direct? And and Austin and I both sat down and watched it and were like, man, what is going on here? What was
the
that
one in June or July?
Was that the third party Direct?
No, I think it was the one before that.
It was like the much ballyhooed freaking like Direct, and we're sitting there watching it, and there was literally like 2 games that caught my eye out of like the 18 that they ran through.
Maybe it was the spring one because the summer one really didn't happen. The summer was only game specific and third party.
Yeah. It must have been the February one.
Nintendo.
It was February one.
I'm sorry, I can't buy into y'all's hype.
No, I'm not hyped. I'm just saying.
For the sake of my sanity, because like everybody's hating Sony right now, but I'm legit hating Nintendo right now because Nintendo has not fulfilled a single promise to me this year.
None of these no. To be fair, nobody has really done anything to grant any promises here. Remember, Xbox has like 30-something games in development, and they're still not up.
Xbox had a promise out the gate. Xbox had a promise before the Series S and X hit the market. They had a promise.
Yeah.
You know what would be an interesting statistic is how many games that were promised for this year that were delayed. Because we talk about delays so much now, or promise. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 50% or higher.
Look,
guys,
I'm really upset.
I had an idea actually. I was gonna start talking to certain people throughout Boss Rush, like you guys were included in this. But I was gonna be like, hey, like start a small list of games that that you anticipated this year that have either gotten pushed back, delayed, or canceled and stuff like that. And I was actually gonna create a YouTube video and stuff, and have like narrative and stuff, for it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's freaking September now. I feel like if it's not done by October, like it's not worth it at that point,
Well, I'm upset because Hogwarts Legacy now comes out 4 days before the new Destiny expansion.
So you either being a wizard or you being what do they call them? What do they call them in Destiny?
Guardian.
A guardian, yeah.
Look,
a wizard or guardian.
I'm choosing.
Either being a wizard, witch, or a guardian.
Look, I'm choosing Destiny 100% of the time. But
wow.
Yep. Oh, your level of nerd just couldn't do it, huh?
No. Look, I love Harry Potter. I want to be a wizard. But
now you understand why I miss Ghost of Tsushima. There was a Monster Hunter game happening during that time.
Look, no, dude, I understand that pain every year. I understand that pain. There are games coming out within 2 weeks of Destiny every year that I just see ya. Bye.
So if
Can we
if the Breath of the Wild sequel came out around the same time as the Destiny expansion, you would choose Destiny.
Corey would buy it, but he would not play it. He would play Destiny.
Well, when does Zelda come out? Before or after? Like within like a week, I would say.
Does before or after really make a difference?
Yeah.
After.
Yeah, because Corey. Yeah, because if Corey's like most gamers that are hardcore about a particular franchise and stuff, Corey will play through his honeymoon phase and then he'll start like side dabbling into the other games.
Gosh, Zelda better not come out the same month as Destiny, or I'm gonna.
Probably not, but I just like
I mean,
you know.
to be honest, I don't know. Lightfall looks really good, guys. You get a grappling hook.
I feel like I'm gonna break Corey's brain. All right, let's not put you through that.
It's
scenario.
already breaking because I'm currently playing Zelda and Destiny again right now. It's different though, because like, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, Stephanie. I'm going to tell you that I legitimately don't know, because like I actually, like before I got confirmation that Girard was going to be on tonight, I thought about bringing the idea of being truthful with yourself on what your favorite game of all time is, and I literally
what is your favorite game of all time?
I was fighting myself, but I think Destiny is.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but I think Destiny is like that top spot, and I don't know what could ever dethrone it at this point. You know.
I know this is a nitpicking, but when you frame a question like that, favorite game of all times, does it necessarily mean that you need to be actively playing it all the time or currently?
No, because Breath of the Wild's up there too, and I haven't played that game seriously in like what 3 or 4 years.
I haven't played Monster Hunter in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that's about to change though, because I'm fucking itching because I have not played any new monsters, and they just started announcing the September update. And they've already announced like the first monster for the September update. And I'm like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this anymore.
After I level up a little bit, LeRon, you need to include me in one of your missions and show me the way.
Hey, you know what? You don't even need to level up. I can create a new character and I can just run with you.
Aww.
And it's like in Destiny, like they brought back this season, they brought back my favorite raid of all time in Destiny from Destiny 1, King's Fall. It is the best piece of Destiny content I've ever played.
Andre was talking about that last night. Now Andre's like, I don't get it. He's like, it's cool that you guys think it's cool, but I don't get it.
He wasn't there, man. He wasn't there. Okay.
That's what he respects. So, he respects the nostalgia aspect of it.
Well, here's the thing with King's Fall is like Destiny was like dead in the water, and then the Taken King came out, and that's when everybody jumped on board with Destiny. Was the Taken King, and at that time we had 2 raids, right? It was Vault of Glass, which is still a lot of people's favorite raid, and Crota's End, which is not good. They already said if they brought Crota's End back, it would not be a raid. It would be a 3-man dungeon at best, which is like, it's whatever. I'm not going to get into it here, but like King's Fall, man, when you center this story around this god who can like possess and literally transform your enemies and make them more powerful enemies, and you center this raid around him, and he's literally the biggest enemy you've ever fought. That raid was scary and cool and dark and fun, and there's a lot of lore behind it, and there's a lot of lore behind the weapons you get from that. Like the touch of malice is the weapon you get from the raid, but like you're shoving his soul inside this weapon to harness the darkness. It's so it's like, you know, and like it drains you.
LeRon and I had the same face. We're like,
yeah.
The thing is like as you shoot the weapon, like when you're on your last bullet, like it'll keep firing as long as you have health. But every time you shoot a bullet, it takes your health away. And so you have to be really strategic with it. Now, granted, it's different now because like the Warlocks have the healing rifts, and Titans have the overshield barricade and stuff. So like you can utilize that weapon differently. But like back then, like, you had to like really be strategic with this weapon, but it was a really powerful weapon. And so,
See, the way Corey is talking about Destiny confirms that that is his favorite game of all time, above all else.
And yeah, so like we're in our Tower Casuals Discord. I'm taking some of the people who listen to the show, and we're gonna run through it on Friday.
Oh.
And I think we're gonna stream it, because a lot of people who play Destiny 2 didn't play Destiny 1 and weren't there, right? Like Andre said he never did Kingsfall, and like he might not understand why people like it, but like I love it. I love the jumping puzzle. I like the totems where you have to run this stupid orb back and forth before you die, and I like the giant wall of dicks. And
huh?
Well, it's
okay.
They're not really. So there's this jumping puzzle where you have to jump through this maze, but if you jump in the wrong spot, part of the wall shoots out and knocks you off into this pit. And a lot of people call it the wall of dicks because they look like giant. They just look like giant dicks that come out and like knock you out. So, I like, the stupid Gogoroth of light puzzle. I think when you enter the chamber where you fight orcs, it's so epic as you walk out into the front of his giant warship called the Dreadnought, and you can see out into space. You look left, you see space. You look right, you see space. You look out in front, you just see Saturn. Like, this spaceship is floating outside of Saturn, and then when you start the encounter, you see him, but he's like in his god form, so he like he's bigger than his ship at this point. So you see him crawl up in front of the ship, and you just don't see Saturn anymore because he's so big. And so you have to do like all these raid mechanics in there to get him to stun him, and then his chest opens up and you shoot this orb in his chest, and then he like gets stunned, and then he shoots flaming balls of darkness at you, and you just gotta run around and dodge them. But like, it's just such a memorable moment for me in Destiny, because that's like, I don't know, it's just cool. So I knew I was going to go down that path, and I didn't mean to, but I did. So here we are. Anyways, I've been playing Destiny. I've been playing.
oh, go figure.
I've been playing Season of Plunder, which is the pirate-themed season. I found 2 of the hidden treasures so far. I think there's 5. And I'm on a quest to craft a weapon to take into the raid on Friday. But I also played the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. Which
is it everything you dreamed it would be?
It's exactly how I remember all of those games. That's the best thing I can say about it.
Now my question is it doing what it needs to do for you?
Yeah, I mean, I liked all those games when I was younger, and it's nice to pop them in. And look, granted, 90% of those games I'm never going to touch again, but jumping into all of them and just, the Game Boy games, man, those games are terrible, but it's hilarious playing these dumb Game Boy games on a 55-inch TV, in black and white with 2 buttons. It's terrible. It's awful. But you get to the arcade games, you get to Turtles in Time on Super Nintendo, you get to Hyperstone Heist on Genesis, you get to Tournament Fighters. Like, those games are all still relatively fun, and they all have online functionality, so like you can play with your friends if you have them. And yeah, I mean, they're not amazing games, but I would say the Super Nintendo game, the Genesis game, and the arcade games are all still worth playing. Anything else in that collection is just kind of like, yeah, that's fine. But the collections of stuff that they have outside of the games, like the art, they have like the original arcade cabinet art. They have a press release for one of the NES games, which is super rare. They have all the boxes scanned in, like nicely scanned in, and you could look at them and flip through the instruction manuals of all the games. And they have some other art in there. It's really cool. They really did a nice job of like preserving the collection, I would say. Even though the games aren't great, but Yeah, I mean it's cool. I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I own it. Shredder's Revenge shows what a good Turtles game can be in that style, and it's nice to go back and see where they came from. And yeah, I mean, if you're in, look, it's not going to sway anybody one way or another. If you're a Ninja Turtles fan, you'll probably get these games. If you're not a Ninja Turtles fan, it's not going to sway you to become one, you know. But as someone who played those games religiously when I was, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old, yeah, it's fun. Plus, if you have it on Switch, the Super Nintendo controller and the Genesis controller work for those versions of the game.
Nice.
So that was cool. Also, I played a little bit of Link's Awakening, but that sixth dungeon.
I need to get back into that.
Yeah,
I never beat it.
Yeah, I've never beaten it either, and I need to beat it. So.
Where am I at? Hold on. See where I'm at.
I'm on the 6th dungeon. There's 8, I think.
I don't think I'm on the 6th dungeon. I think I'm on the 5th dungeon.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I also finished the Orville, which I mentioned earlier.
Nice.
So here's the thing. I don't know if it's going to get renewed or not. It hasn't been officially canceled or renewed. I will say this. They left it in a great spot either way.
Oh, really? Okay.
I really liked the ending. And if they said this was it, I'd be like, cool. I'm happy. If not, they definitely have somewhere to go.
All right. I need to get my ass into gear and watch that 3rd season.
Yeah, the 3rd season is probably my favorite season.
Oh, all right. Even more motivation for me to catch up.
Yeah. So they revisit some old storylines from season 1 and 2, and I thought it was going to be kind of like, you're really going to go back to that? But like, they did it, and they didn't do it in like a cheesy way or anything. So that's it. That's all I got.
Nice.
I'm still checking to see. I was like a dummy. I was looking for Legend of Zelda and not The Legend of Zelda. So like I was like, I know I had this game on. I swear.
The word "the" is important, LeRon. In Zelda.
I've only done the level 3 dungeon. So yeah,
that's fine. Well, I think that's it. I think we did it.
What a nice show.
It was a good show. It was a great show.
It's time to go to bed now, right?
Sure. It's never time for bed, LeRon.
So I'm telling you guys, I had a week. Well, I mean, like the week has been going.
Well, the good news is we seem to be like really, dare I say, ahead of schedule for the night. So
I know we're like at least 45 minutes ahead of schedule tonight. That's great. So yeah, we're gonna end the show there. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. I want to thank Girard for joining us for the first 2/3 maybe of the show, 3/4 of the show.
We love you, dude.
Great guest. Loved having you. Welcome
Come
anytime if you're listening to the rest of this. Go follow him on Twitter, G Kavelines. Also, all the links for him will be in the show notes. LeRon, Stephanie, thank you guys for your time tonight as well. You can follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Podcast and at Boss Rush Network. Check out bossrush.net for all the articles and good things. If you listen on iTunes or Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating. Also, shout out to our Patreon, patreon.com/BossRushNetwork, if you want to support us directly. I forgot that we didn't do that because we usually do it at the top of the show.
You're right, the patrons.
Yeah. Yeah, you can subscribe to us for $1 a month, and you get early access to all of our, or not all of our shows. Well, that would have been bad. To 4 of our shows. But if you subscribe at the $5 tier, you become a Patreon producer. What does that mean? It means you get early access plus a shout out on this section of the program. I want to thank our Patreon producers: Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. I want to thank all of our patrons. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers, and I want to thank all of our free listeners. Also, quick shout out to Adrielle. She sent me a really nice message on Discord today about how much she enjoys our shows and stuff.
Aww.
And it was just really nice. She always has something really nice to say. So,
well, we love you back.
Yeah. So it's really nice to hear. You know, sometimes I know me and I know all of us kind of second guess ourselves a lot on certain things, and it's really nice to hear when people enjoy what you're doing. So.
Oh, absolutely. We really do enjoy the interaction where we can get it. So please reach out to us anytime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stephanie, where can we find you?
Well, people can find me on the internet on Twitter and Instagram at Klimov_author, various articles on bossrush.net, and here, as well as a couple other podcasts in the network.
Yeah. LeRon?
All right, you guys can find me on social media at Exodus803, and remember that's also my YouTube and Twitch handles, as well as my PlayStation Network and Steam ID. And I've already mentioned it earlier, but yeah, hit my YouTube channel Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Crossroads Video Game Podcast, where me and some friends talk about everything that you need to know about PlayStation, PC, and Xbox gaming. So there's that.
And you can find me at IamCorianHT on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Nintendo Power Block and Standard Definition and Tower Casuals, my Destiny podcast. You can also find me hopefully writing a little bit more soon. I did talk with David. I am gonna, as soon as things just calm down at work, I'm going to start writing again. It's been a while, so what else? Check out bossrush.net. Check out our Discord. Follow us on Twitter, all that good stuff. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Good one.